So let's get into number 2. Let's move to Omarion Hampton, who there was times, Max, when I was watching the film on Omarion, I really did wanted to put him 1.
I agree with you. Yeah,
He's
there's a argument to say his size and frame will transfer over more, and he'll be able to take more wear and tear.
he has a little bit more carries than Ashton Jeanty. So I did everyone's career carries in college. Jeanty had 601. He has 622. I feel like anything over 600 is a lot of carries. I put him in the
I
red.
would say it'd be interesting to know how many carries they had this year because Jeanty had like 1 million.
Yeah.
I think 400 of Genty's were like this year,
Right.
which is like a lot of workload.
Exactly. Okay, so Omarion Hampton out of North Carolina ran a 4.46. He's 6 foot, 221 pounds. Max, what did you see out of Hampton out of North Carolina?
He's your bell cow. He's great size, great frame for a heavy workload. He's strong. He just breaks tackles. Legs keep going. Even when he gets tackled, it's like, I'm going to fall forward for 2 or 3 yards. Ripped off a lot of long runs, 40 to 60-yard runs. There's definitely that 4.46. He trained his ass off because he's not that fast. He's a 4.5 guy in my mind. And that's not nothing bad. He's just not going to get a lot of 80-yard touchdowns. He's going to get caught. And that's something that popped up on tape. He has good hands for a player. He's going to be on the field all 3 downs. And I honestly would say, for my money, I think he punishes defenses more than Ashton Jeanty.
He's a violent runner.
That's what I said. Yeah, it was just like
He's violent.
Yeah, to me, this guy looked like David Montgomery at times, but even like worse because he's bigger than David Montgomery.
Yeah, I put he always falls forward. Great contact balance.
Oh yeah, very good.
I love it. It was to the point where I had it added to our MJC grading system, and I was like, Max, we gotta add contact balance because watching Omarion Hampton, like that's one of the best things that I loved about him. He always falls forward. His start and stop speed ability is amazing. The one thing that he is lacking is sometimes he looks for too much contact. And I feel like he has the athletic ability to just juke someone out of their shoes, and take it to the house. And this is why my comp to him, Josh Jacobs.
Oh wow.
Josh Jacobs
He's
with more
bigger.
juice. With more juice.
Bigger than Josh Jacobs.
And I think he has more juice than Josh Jacobs. But Josh Jacobs, great contact balance. He's a violent runner. He can catch the ball. He can take it to the house. Like, Josh Jacobs as a pro right now, he's Omarion Hampton.
Yeah, I would
Not
agree.
Coming out, everyone had questions about his 40. And like
he didn't get a lot of touches in Bama.
Can he shake guys like that? Josh Jacobs can shake guys.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think there's a couple like little nitpicky things. Like he's not great in picking up blitzes. He has to like kind of build up speed. Like that's what I kind of talked about, where it's not just like I can stick my foot in the ground, I'm top speed.
Right.
But he's a bowling ball. What is he? He's like 6 feet tall, 225.
Yeah.
Built
221, 6 foot.
Yeah, big dude.
Yeah.
And I would bet he plays heavier than that. He probably lost a little weight to run the 40 fast. He's a big freaking dude. Any team would be lucky to have him. Late round 1, I put. Round 1, 20 to 40 is the range for me. He's a good player. Honestly, he's in the same tier as Jeanty to me.
I put Jeanty in another tier. It's very close though. I feel like Jeanty has that generational type thing to him.
Yeah, I guess I would say Jeanty, if he's like hitting on all cylinders, could be the best running back in the league. I don't think Hampton could. He could be one of the 5 best running backs.
Right. Yeah. And I think Chicago, if Jeanty gets picked by the Raiders, you trade down and you pick Omarion Hampton. I think that's a great fit for him. I think New England, the same thing. Let's say they don't like Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Let's say they're not a big fan of him, and he's there at 4, and they're like, should we pick Travis? We don't really like him. Should we pick Will Campbell?
Yeah, we don't like these tackles.
Yeah, let's trade down and let's get a guy in Omarion Hampton. We can't get a receiver because we got Stephon Diggs, and we don't like none of the receivers. Let's get ourselves a violent running back, which Vrabel loves. Vrabel loves to run the football.
They already have one of those guys, but this guy's got a ceiling Ramondre Stevenson doesn't have.
Ramondre is just he's capped out.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he's capped out.
Ramondre is a 1 to 2 down player. This guy can play all 3 downs.
Yeah. Let's look at Hampton's grade that we had. My grade for him, I had a late first round pick, 84.5. Max, what was your grade?
I can't remember my head.
I got you. It's 85.
85. Yeah, same thing. There's a little bit. There's obviously some things that aren't as good as Jeanty, but into my mind, he's the same tier of player. I'd rather have him at 25 than Jeanty at 5.
And it was really close with Hampton, man. I wanted to put him in his own tier to these compared to these next guys.
I think. I mean, obviously the 2 Ohio State guys are next. Yeah, no, he's clearly to me a tier above these 2. These 2 guys, and this is where it kind of starts, and it's kind of weird, where it's kind of like you get pieces of a backfield. I don't know if you get a complete like starting alpha running back.
Mm-hmm. And the one thing on Hampton, I just want to say this: his 2023 tape was almost as good as his 2024, and 2024 was kind of lacking in a sense because he did so much damage in 23. But man, he's gonna be a great running back in the league, man. He has a higher floor than Jeanty.
Yeah, I agree. I there is a world where I can see Jeanty just like the power doesn't translate,
and maybe he breaks down.
Yeah, and then maybe I should have said that. Like, I don't know if 5'9", 215, that power is going to translate to, because it didn't look like that against Penn State for most of the game. There's a few runs here and there. So,
big dreams, everything ain't what it seems. Glittering gold, both ways. Not on my team. This organic, we don't buy